WhiskyJason here, whiskey from the viewpoint of an American in Germany tasting rare and exotic whiskeys. Today I'm in the Netherlands. I have here Torpedoed Tulip Dutch single rye whiskey, created as part of the Boilermaker series for Brewdog Distilling Company. Yay! So the whole time it says here, Barrel Nassau, I have no idea, the Netherlands, I guess that's the place. And we have here actually the non-chilled filtered, and we have grain milled by Dutch windmills, yay! Now this is part of the Boilermaker series. Let me pour this. So the Boilermaker series consists of 3 bottlings. The first one you may have seen in your life. It is the Transistor from Compass Box. The other one is a little bit obscure. That is the Skeleton here from Duncan Taylor, which I have not seen very much. This is a smoky, and this is their rye. So a Boilermaker, you take a beer, either you chase it with one of these, or you put a little shot glass in the glass of beer and you drink it. I can imagine this. This is very, very nice. This is supposed to go together with a Punk IPA. This is also a little bit smoky. It's interesting. This goes together very well with a Jack Black, what was it? Heart beer. So, and this, now this is a little weird. I don't know if you've ever followed a beer with a rye. The people who have done this was supposed to be their Dead Pony pale ale that this goes together with, and people who have tried this actually say it doesn't work. Now this is Torpedoed Tulip. Now this is actually an explosion of rye in your mouth. Now I love rye whiskeys. I've tasted 35, 40 different ryes in my life, from Germany, from Netherlands, from other places in the world, and of course from the US. And I really do enjoy a great rye. Lot 40 is probably my favorite from Canada for the price value. Pikesville is excellent, and even some other ones are very, very nice. Now, what I'm going to compare this to is actually another Dutch rye. This was a single barrel from the Oshkobaai Society. This is 6 years old. And this was actually filled 2000 and distilled 2007 and actually bottled in 2014. This, I actually owned 3 bottles of this because it was so good. What they did is they put rye whiskey at I think 48% into a cask, let it sit there for 6 years, and then distilled it at cask strength, which in this case was 43.3%. So, what I did not find out, and I'm going to assume that this is 100% rye, 95% rye, 90% rye. This is rye in your face. I really like it. Whiskey base number 129306, 46%, and over here in Germany, somewhere between 41 and 44 euros. So let's call it 42.90. Now, the Boilermaker series was supposed to be a big hit in the UK, and I'm sure it was before COVID hit. And after COVID hit, all the bars were basically closed, and therefore you had all that inventory. What do you do with it? You find an importer, maybe even in Germany, called Kirsch importer, and then you import these over here, and you make a little bit of a nice little campaign about this, and ta-da, I'd buy all 3 bottles. And the Compass Box was actually almost ashamed to chase it with after some whiskey, or after some beer. I'm going to do the Skeleton last because it's smoky. And this actually I did in my German video, and I was surprised at how good this is. On the nose. Dark chocolate, cigar, tobacco, not lit, just the tobacco leaves. And then what's really, really interesting is they finish this in a sherry cask. So I noticed it the first time. I did not know about the sherry cask. It's like something's weird here. Something's off. Something's not right. The minor cask that you've tried, maybe it's very, very light whiskey compared to this. That sherry influence is a little light. This is a little bit more impressive, a little bit more stronger. You actually get a little bit of the oak here, and you get maybe a little bit of cinnamon, as they write on the back of the box. Over here, this is a whiskey I could nose the entire night. This was virgin oak. The vanilla in this rye whiskey is strong. This is a fabulous, fabulous single malt whiskey. Or rye whiskey, not single malt. It's a rye whiskey. I've never done that one before. This is something you can pick up at auction every once in a while if you're lucky. There were a total of 221 bottles. I've dissipated 3 of these bottles myself with bottle shares and so on. Very, very, very nice stuff. So let's start off here. Cheers. Mm, 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 mm. This starts off very nice and just continues. You get a little bit of a sweetness. You get a little bit of the sherry moment, and then you get some type of dark chocolate towards the end. And the one lingers on into the other, and you just get this wonderful full package of a taste that is actually very, very nice. Don't forget the whole time you get this rye moment. Um, it's in a massive amount of rye that's coming through here. And then on top of that, you have the honey, on top of that, the sherry, on top of that, the wood, on top of that, the honey, and on top of that, then that tobacco. Wow. The nose, I could take it or leave it. That sherry kind of screws with my head, to be honest. It's something I have to get used to, that a rye has a certain sherry component in there. But on the taste, that sherry just integrates as a one part of many, and it's one facet of many, and it's actually just like a diamond that's been cut and actually polished in the right way. I adore this whiskey. I have not had a rye whiskey that is, for the first time, that has surprised me as much as this one has. All right, so what I need to do is I need to mm, taste that briefly. Um, what really, really surprises me is I never had any type of bitterness in this before until I had this, and then afterwards that. There is a light bitterness that just comes through those tannins. So this is my go-to rye whiskey. This is my quiet space. This is where I'm at home. If I want to drink a whiskey, and any whiskey in the world, I can drink Lot 40 and just go, ah. This is my middle. This is where which grounds me. This is the whiskey. I've talked about this a few times. I really, really, really enjoy this bottle. I've sold because of my recommendations. I'm gonna exaggerate and say 100 bottles at least in Germany. It's going to be 50 without exaggerating. I've bought myself 12 of these at least so far in the last couple of years, and I've shared them. And everyone who does a bottle share with me often says, "Oh, Jason, you keep on, keep on, keep on hyping the Lot 40 putted one, put a little sample in there." And then often they're like, "Jason, I bought a bottle. It's so good." It's like, yes, it is so good. All right, so this is my go-to whiskey, not just Irish, not just world whiskey, not just rye. Just this is my go-to bottle. All right. I like this better. It's got a little bit more of the eucalyptus. It's got a little bit of the menthol in there. So let's try it. Mm, mm. I'm home. This just grounds me, as I said. Now I know, actually, now just from this moment, that this is going to be much sweeter. This is 46%. This is 43%. This is in Germany 32, 34. This is 42. So it's about €8 more, which is about 25% more in price. What would I rather have? And that's the question of the day. As I said, this is my go-to rye. hmm Mm, mm. This is very, very good. It's almost, in comparison, too sweet. It's almost like too rich. It's like a pecan pie. The second slice of pecan pie. It's like, oh yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna make it or not. Um, and and that sherry is very intensive compared to this. This is virgin oak, and this is 100% rye. I have no idea if this is 100% rye or not. They probably, in Germany, we can use enzymes in rye, so I guess in the Netherlands they can use it as well. In Scotland, for single malt Scot, it would be not allowed, but I have no idea what the regulations are for rye whiskey in Scotland. There are some people who've started producing Scot whiskey in Scotland, and I would have to read up on that. Wow. Almost as good, but a little bit too much on the sweet side. So if I'm going to be very honest, this is more of a B plus type of whiskey for me, and this is a solid B. This is actually, for value for money, a C plus, and this is more of a C. 42 euros for a excellent rye whiskey in Germany is a very good price, and I can actually recommend this if you like rye in your face, and if you like honey, and if you like a sherry, if you like a tobacco leaves, if you like a little bit of that oak in there, and just all mixed together and just accumulated, and very, very good. And if you water it, it doesn't hurt at all. It's still good. So I can imagine this is actually a great whiskey if you want to make an old-fashioned or maybe some type of other rye cocktail. This would actually do it in a very excellent manner. All right. So if you want to try some European Dutch rye, take a look and try to find from the Boilermaker series from Brewdog Distilling, the Torpedoed Tulip Dutch Single Rye Whiskey. Absolutely my favorite. So my question of the day is, what is your favorite rye from Europe? I know, I really narrowed that question almost too much. On the 3rd of October, I'm going to do a blind tasting in Germany here, in German, with 6 different German rye whiskeys. And we're going to see which is the best German whiskey out there, rye. It is actually the day of that the wall came down, so reunification day. And so I thought it was only fitting to do a German whiskey review and 6 different ryes going head-to-head blind. This would win. This would just kill off everything. There is a great whiskey here in Germany. It's called Stork, a full proof. It's a rye, 55%. I did not put that in my blind because it's 55%. I put its little brother with 43% from Stork into the single malt rye, into the blind challenge. So we'll see what happens there. So if you can't answer the question, what is your favorite European rye? What is your favorite rye? Is it Lot 40? Is it Pikesville? Is it maybe Jack Daniel's single barrel rye? Is it maybe something totally different that I have not even thought of yet? Rittenhouse or anything else out there? Fred Mimic just did a rye challenge, and his winner was it Rittenhouse? No, Rittenhouse was missing in there. 1 second. Yeah, I looked it up. It was 1776 rye, one with him, which I'm not a big fan of, but hey, why not? So who knows? Brown Foreman makes great rye, and so on and so on. There's some really, really good rye whiskeys out there. Please try them. Okay, Whiskey Jason here, whiskey from the viewpoint of an American in Germany, tasting rare and exotic whiskeys. Today, a Dutch single rye whiskey. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share this video on social media, on Twitter, on Instagram, on Facebook, on any place you'd like, and try to increase the brand awareness for Dutch rye whiskey with me together. All the best. Bye-bye.